Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Lido Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news updates. Let's talk about it. Well, first up, Norwegian Cruise Line in an unexpected move, he says, with some level of sarcasm. NCL, they've canceled their June 2021 sailings for all of their cruise lines. We're talking Norwegian Cruise Line, Oceania Cruise Lines, Regent Seven Seas, U.S. sailings, global sailings, whatever they got going on in June of 2021, it is now canceled. Norwegian, the way they've been doing it is, of course, if you paid cash, they're just going to straight up give you a refund. So you should be looking for the refund to come back in the form of the payment that you send it in. And if you had some sort of future cruise credit on a booking that got canceled in June, that future cruise credit will be returned to your account. Norwegian Cruise Line, the first of the major three to cancel their June sailings. CEO of Norwegian Cruise Line Holding Group, Frank Del Rio, has made no secret about his timeline. He said once they get the green light from the CDC, it'll take about 90 days to get cruising going again. Currently, there's no green light from the CDC, and we're less than 90 days from June. So, like I said, not that surprising that Norwegian has canceled June. Now, I do have some thoughts on why that green light hasn't come yet. Make sure you stay until the end of the video and see if you agree or disagree, but still more cruise news to get to. Our next story up, Virgin Voyages just announcing within the last couple hours that they would be the next cruise line to announce a vaccine mandate. That is right, Virgin Voyages announcing that there will be a requirement when they resume sailing for fully vaccinated crew members and fully vaccinated passengers. The word fully vaccinated is used as a qualifier because two of the three major vaccines require 2 shots, where one vaccine requires 1 shot. So if you're on the 2-shot system, you have to have both shots prior to sailing on Virgin Voyages. It's pretty significant. This is really the largest cruise line in the U.S. that's requiring vaccination, and they don't have a kid component, so there's that aspect of it. A lot of people are worried, will Carnival, will Royal, will Norwegian require vaccine, and what do you do with the kids, because there's not kids age vaccines out yet? Well, really not a problem for Virgin Voyages because they only allow guests 18 and older, and guests 18 and older can all get the vaccine if they want. I think one thing that all cruise lines who mandate a vaccine will have to deal with, exemptions. Will there be exemptions for medical reasons or for other reasons? I think those details will be more forthcoming as we move closer to cruise time. But yeah, Virgin Voyage is going to require the vaccine to cruise. Quick shout out to all the crew members out there. A video I made the other day talking about American Cruise Line returning to operation here in the US has garnered a lot of attention on the social medias, and that attention's come from a lot of crew members. We already have a lot of crew members that watch, so let me just take a moment to welcome all of the new crew members, all the new subscribers to the channel, and for all the crew members that watch, we sure appreciate you guys watching, and I'll speak for the community at large. We can't wait until you go back to work, so stay strong. Hopefully the news continues to get good. I got a good cruise news story coming up next that will be hopefully good for crew members. But yeah, so thanks for being here. And if you're brand new to the channel, if you like to stay up to date with what's going on in cruising, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. And while you're doing that, or if you're not doing that, maybe hit the like button, and we can get this news out to more people. All right, the next cruise news story, very exciting. We heard a couple weeks ago that the UK, the government in the UK, they had a plan for reopening travel. And part of that plan was reopening cruising. A lot of the major cruise lines have said we will take advantage of this newfound opportunity in the UK to cruise, and there's one cruise line that's ready for it. Travel will open up a little more in May, and Viking Cruises will be able to take advantage of it. Viking Ocean Cruises. Viking Cruises in an interesting position. They didn't send their crew home. They kept their crew in place during all of this shutdown, and they're ready to go cruising in the UK, and they're selling cruises for May. The first departure for Viking will be from Portsmouth. These will be scenic UK cruises where they'll sail around the UK. They're not going to any international ports, and they will happen on May the 22nd, May the 29th, and June the 5th on the Viking Venus. At this point, there's no vaccine requirement on these Viking sailings. They will be leveraging their testing protocol where they test the crew members and the passengers every day. Of course, they got the other health protocols in place. Interesting, though, of course, social distancing. I think that's going to be the thing for sure. But when it comes to their mask policy, they say face mask may be required for all guests and crew while moving about Viking ships, depending on the conditions at the time of sailing. Face masks will not be required for guests when seated in dining venues, bars, and lounges. How about that? They're leaving enough room there that they can say, it's a mask-free day. So they're going to test you every day, PCR test every day. They got onboard laboratories, crew and guests, but no vaccine requirement. This is exciting. UK friends, will you be signing up for a Viking Ocean cruise? Now let's talk about why the CDC has not green-lighted cruises in the United States. On February the 22nd, Michael Bailey, the president of Royal Caribbean International, said that they'd been in conversation with the CDC frequently about the cruise restart and that they were waiting for the next set of technical documents any day now. February the 22nd, that's 6 days until the end of February, plus 16 days. So for 22 days, since he said it should come any day now, it has not come any day now. So with the CDC releasing the framework for conditional sailing in October and releasing technical documents along the way, why are they dragging their feet on the technical documents that regard test sailings? Well, I have 3 reasons why I think that is true. Number one, the COVID spike at the end of 2020. The announcement for the conditional framework for sailing is announced on the 28th of October. You know, these things take time to go into motion. People have to read through that 40-page document, figure all that out. Well, during that first month after the release of the framework for conditional sailing, COVID spiked in the United States in a way that it hadn't previously. So yes, they released a framework for conditional sailing, and then the COVID got even worse. That's number one. Number two, the vaccine. I think the vaccine is going to be the thing that saves cruising, but it is at the same time the thing that is slowing up cruising. The assumptions made when the framework for conditional sailing was developed by the CDC are not the assumptions today. You got to figure that thing was developed in September, November 2020 without any idea whether or not there would be an effective vaccine available for people in the United States. When the conditional framework for sailing was released on the 28th of October, there still wasn't any idea whether or not or when the vaccines would roll out in the US. Of course, it starts happening in December, and now as we find ourselves in March, we have data that suggest that the vaccine rollout is effective. But again, these things were not known when the framework for conditional sailing was announced, and so the protocols that may have been required of cruise ships on October the 28th may not be the protocols required at all when cruising resumes. Here's a fun fact. The vaccines were released in December. It took until early March before the CDC was able to release guidance about how vaccinated people could socialize together. We just got that. And we also got word that there would be travel guidance coming forth. But if it takes the CDC 60 to 70 days to understand what the vaccine means in terms of socialization for the general population, it suggests to me that trying to figure out what the vaccine means for cruising could take a little while too. One of the biggest questions, and we covered it already in today's show, will vaccines be required by crew? Will vaccines be required by passengers? I'm assuming the CDC is working through those issues. And then the third thing that stopped the CDC from greenlighting cruising back in October was the crazy political climate here in the United States. If you remember the end of 2020, November, December, and even January of 2021, probably the most contentious political environment that I've witnessed since I've been aware of political environments. So yeah, at the end of the day, I'm not shocked that the CDC doesn't have new requirements for the cruise ships quite yet. That's your cruise news. Time to sound off in the comments. Tony with Lido Loca. Until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.